Now it's official. The system has just let go of Alexandra de Moraes' hand. And all of this will affect Ignacio. Guys, look, Trump hadn't become a supporter of Lula, Xandão, or whatever you want to call it. Malu Gaspar brought new information. Now it's not just Xandão, but Toffoli too. The internet is on fire. It's Christmas Day, and things are complicated. Look at Trump's case here. Lula is scared to death. Lula's government suspects Trump may interfere in Brazil's election. But they weren't buddies. Everything changed after Andrea Esteves spoke with Trump. Remove Magnitsky and Trump. We have something better in Brazil to release. And then Malu Gaspar Agobo started to reveal everything, and one detail. They're now saying Globo is pro-Bolsonaro, like I mentioned before. Now everyone claims there's a pro-Bolsonaro wing at Globo. The video is spectacular. It's really beautiful, and things are happening. Santa Claus has arrived. Ma, hit the like button. I'm going to bring everything now, so come on. Let him be. Being our family's father isn't easy. You click the channel. You're already becoming our team's father, my friends. Before we start, a quick message. We have Slim Fervor available for everyone. It's a natural weight loss. Are you gonna try it? Especially during year-end parties. Sometimes we end up going a little overboard, right? Sometimes we eat a little more, and we always get a bit worried. What do we do to lose inches, to lose weight? Here's a product with which I lost more than 20 kilos. Everyone asks about it. Fabiano Giguet. Wow, you lost weight quickly. Yes, my friends, it took willpower and a helpful product. It's a little powder. Look, it's a little powder that you take and mix in water. It tastes like orange juice. Looks like a tank, right? Similar. And it suppressed hunger, right? You feel less hungry, right? So, right, you'll be able to lose weight. If I can do it, my friends, I'm living proof. Living proof. A few months ago, look at these photos. Look at these images. And I had a friend of mine, right? We were together. He said, "You were chubby, Fabiano. You were chubby." It had been a while since he last saw me. We ended up meeting yesterday. Great guy, my friend Gilberto. Big hug to him. "You used to be chubby, Fabiano. Lost weight?" I said. "Yeah, Slim Ferv. I'm there daily, you know? Promoting a great product on the channel for those wanting to lose weight more easily and peacefully. We know it's hard. It's hard. I run every day and I wasn't able to lose weight. It was Slim Ferv that helped me, right? To lose over 20 kilos. The link is right here below for everyone who wants to take advantage and get ready for summer. Looking slim, right? It's really cool. It gives you and my friends a lot of quality of life. Look, Ignacio is scared. Trump has changed now. He's not my buddy anymore. He wants to interfere in the Brazilian election. Trump is trying now. It's Lula's cronies. There's Brazil 247. Lula's cronies are desperate. It wasn't today. I caught myself thinking about you, Trumpinho. It wasn't like this. It wasn't I love you, and I don't know how I love things about love. Lula's government believes that the institutional relationship with Washington does not eliminate the risk of possible external interference in the 2026 electoral process. Members of the Palacio do Planalto believe that, even with recent gestures of outreach, the United States may adopt strategies similar to those seen in elections in other Latin American countries. But hold on. Peligros. Biden can interfere here, but Trump can't, accepting help from Trump 3 times. As Barroso said, that's okay, but Trump can't. You guys are a bunch of Pelagus, right, Pelagus? The analysis was revealed in a report by Folha de São Paulo, which heard from a high-ranking official in the Brazilian government. According to the assessment, Donald Trump may have only made a tactical retreat by removing some of the tariffs on Brazilian products and suspending sanctions. At Magnitsky, after a failed attempt to prevent President Bolsonaro's arrest, Look at what these guys are saying here. If Globo can't prove its claim, it must compensate the minister. The union guys freaked out. The Brazil 247 union guys, they're going to pay compensation. Okay, Globo is going to pay a lot of compensation to Moraes. Now Globo has turned. Now it's already Bolsonarist in Australia. In the understanding of the Brazilian government, the concern is based on recent precedents in the legislative election that took place in Argentina. Trump made the release of a $20 billion financial aid package conditional on a good electoral performance by Millei's party. In Honduras, during the presidential election, Trump publicly supported the far-right candidate Tito Asfer. Everything is called far-right now. Relax. We'll return next year, and you can't stop us. Lula just wants to take our tax money. People are tired. Even his former supporters, right? They're outraged because they're the ones truly suffering, especially his supporters. Consider the context. Honduran President Xiomara Castro claimed there was an electoral coup. The most nefarious guy was in Honduras. Writing to Informinga, first Laos, I think. What's frustrating is that pride is misleading because the focus was on practicing the culinary trick at Viva Chiliano Zanado. Now things are well designed. Because that Andre Esteves was with Trump. Who knows? Maybe you won't stop with the magnificent Trump. Nothing came of it, but there's this here that's going to happen. Look here, Glenn Grewal, putting it all out there, exposing everything, just like that, huh? Moraes supporters claim only Malu Gaspar reported what Moraes told the central bank about Banco Master. They can, so they can shout, Globo is a coup supporter and Lava Jato supporter to save Xandão. But many other journalists reported it, and even several journalists have already turned against Sandoka. Moraes and the central bank met about Magnite, but Master was also mentioned. Faria Lima was set on fire due to pressure from Alexandre de Moraes. About Galípolo, Lula's journalist, Monica Brega Moraes, called Galípolo 6 times. On the day tied to the Banco Master Estado sale, Moraes altered his statement about the meeting and gave the wrong date, while Galípolo didn't record it in his schedule. See the inconsistencies. When asked about the undisclosed schedule, the central bank declined to comment. Convicted and jailed, Bolsonaro is still expected to influence 2026 campaigns. The guys already know, right? There's heavy fire coming. Glenn put all of this here, then he even exposed, look, here, there's still this here. Moraes changed the note about this. It's really serious. Glenn even posted it here, see? The left insists that everyone should ignore reports by Malu Gaspar because she supported Dilma's impeachment. And Lava Jato. No one supported or benefited more from the impeachment and Lava Jato than Xandão. He voted to keep Lula imprisoned. Moraes, about what Moraes used to say about Dilma in the past, right? You'll see here, look.
Look at the last question from our supporter here about a corrupt government that was removed from Brazil because of corruption.
Because of a lack of shame. This was Moraes. They stole billions and billions. If instead of stealing billions, they had invested in security, if instead of diverting money to build the Cuba port, they had invested in prisons, we would be much better off. Thank you.
That was Moraes in the past, against Lula, against Dilma, requesting a review, asking for a review. Whoever watched the documentary with the timeline, Alan dos Santos, Max, and our former journalist, thankfully from Globo, right? Lacombe made it. You'll understand a lot of things. The documentary they made is fantastic. And then, look, Lula's cronies. Now, the magazine was Primeiro Brasil 247. Now the magazine Fora Malu Gaspar compares Moraes and Toffoli to Sergio Moro. Globo uses columnists in an uprising against the minister. Now, the Mourinho brothers are Bolsonarists. It's the Mourinho brothers as Bolsonarists. An uprising from Globo and the liberal media against Moraes. It exposes the guts of a war fought on Faria Lima, which was taken to the Supreme Court between bankers Daniel Vorcaro from Master and Andre Esteves from BTG Pactual and the Mourinho brothers. Now, after spreading the narrative based on confidential sources, that Moraes supposedly met with the president of the central bank to put pressure on the Banco Master case. Journalist Malu Gaspar from Globo published an article comparing the minister and Dias Toffoli to the former Lava Jato judge, who left the judiciary to become Jair Bolsonaro's super minister of justice and was elected senator. Without citing damaging evidence between Moraes and Galípolo, they're already pushing back, messing around, and trying to bring things down. I'm really getting the feeling that things have already gone south. And these guys here, the situation is getting more complicated. That's why the Mourinho brothers have switched sides and now support Bolsonaro. Who is the source for the articles about André Esteves and Alexandre de Moraes, published against Alexandre de Moraes? And he really did talk to Trump. It just keeps confirming what I think. I believe he spoke. I said, let's not do it. Remove the word magnificent. It makes them feel victorious. Then we came, and right after that, these meetings and phone calls from Xandão happened here. Look at that. Targeted by Bolsonaro supporters, Moraes met with Galipa to discuss the magnificent law, Carta Capital. Isn't it saying here that Globo is now pro-Bolsonaro, targeted by new Bolsonaro supporters' moves? Globo now has an internal faction that supports Bolsonaro. Those guys, during Lula's election, acted like that, right? Celebrating there on Jornal National, setting off fireworks, hugging each other, saying love won. Love that doesn't even put on shoes to go out. Production. Today, I caught myself thinking about you. Now everyone, the love crowd on the left, has turned into the terror crowd. And they're Bolsonaro supporters, all Bolsonaro supporters. Now, everyone's a Bolsonaro supporter. And I can smell victory. We're gonna get through this phase. Xandão was really feeling what a true Bolsonaro supporter feels, right? Rare, man. And here, where it all started, it was with Dias Toffoli in the Crusoe article. He's the friend of my father's friend when he decided that Xandão would be the rapporteur, right? Of the fake news in Brazil. And it all started there, in 2019, the dictatorship. The federal police did not request the confrontation of those involved in the Banco Master case, which was ordered by Toffoli, and they fear that this will intimidate the witnesses, especially the high-ranking central bank officials who made the accusations. The federal police. Now, this guy here is one of the biggest left-wing legal scholars, pure left. He hates President Bolsonaro, Walter Majorovich. Look at what he wrote here. Moraes committed a crime if he used the prestige of his position to benefit his wife. It's them. Band, through the journalist here, also goes after him. Band just grabbed the frying pan to fry Moraes a little more.
What would Minister Alexandre de Moraes' reaction be if he found out about the wife of the President of the Republic, the wife of the President of the Senate, the wife of the President of the Chamber?
If he found out what?
One of them signed a contract with Banco Master to receive 129 million reais in monthly installments.
What would the reaction be? No, now it's okay, now it's okay. Look, people put Eduardo in Bolsonaro, put Lula's son. He became the Ronaldinho of business after his father became president. Moraes' wife became the Ronaldinho of the courts after her husband became a Supreme Court justice. No, you won't see a situation like this in any other country in the world. Wives of justices from the highest court of a nation. Having cases that their husbands' colleagues judge, and often even their husbands themselves. Where else would you see something like this? Not where, nowhere on earth, in any democratic nation, the people would have already taken to the streets by now, because it's not right. And now? Like, this is the end, right? The end is awesome. Look at these people. There are some things from the internet that I can't even show, but this is the truth that people are posting, right? The Partido dos Trabalhadores supporter says, let me go, let me go. I have to defend billionaire bankers and contractors to save democracy. Let me go. These guys are in this situation. There's no way they can defend Xandão anymore. Xandão is indefensible. These guys already see that it's going to fall. It's going to fall. And there's nothing else to do. There's absolutely nothing else to do. Globo is going to go one after another now. That's how it is. Globo always acts like that, right? After insulting the journalist by calling her a liar, the left is attacking. So far, Globo is going to the front. The good thing is that we already know all these operating methods. Guys, and we thought everything was over with the United States, right? Those guys are all afraid of Trump. According to them, interfering in the electoral process is because he knows there's trouble coming. And there's nothing they can do about it. Xandão can't lose power anymore. If Inácio loses, like I've always said here on the channel, if one falls, they all fall. Lula desperately needs Xandão to be able to do the worst things. And Xandão needs Lula to stay in power so he can keep going, right? Also in his comfort zone, which until now seemed endless. Okay, everything comes to an end. There's still a lot to happen. And I'm telling you guys, right? Until then, next year. That's some crazy stuff. So smash that like button, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and join the family. I'll return soon on Parents and Children, Fabiano Guiguet, for the Christmas special with updates and news.